Hi. Welcome to Glass Break, a new series for all topics related to glass. Take a break from the busy day and join us as we watch amazing art come to life.
So, if you're wondering what we're working on today, we are working on a candle holder. Everyone's doing kind of a different job, right? So, what Ben is making right now is the actual candle cut. Gabe earlier, he started heating up some color. Now we have Sarah. What Sarah's doing is starting a basic bubble on which we can add colored glass. We're gathering or collecting glass from our furnace that holds 1,000 pounds of clear glass. Glass blowing has rapidly changed. Blowing glass during COVID is not ideal. The museum is taking a lot of precautions, and everyone is. You'll notice we'll use a lot of these puffers, these blow hoses now to introduce the air. Now that the mass is hot enough, we're gonna create a jack line, a break-off point. You really want to squeeze down a jack line always. If it's not constricted enough, you're not gonna have a clean break on that piece. Holding it down. Looks like they're blowing a little bit more air to give it more volume. Now, the next done, all we have to work on is the base. We use a wooden paddle on the base of it, but we're also using that jacks. And by doing this at the same time, we're creating like a mold that we can roll into. And if you want a crisp 90-degree edge, you always do it twice. There's one last thing to do, which is to drill a hole on the very bottom, and I can explain this here very shortly. But before we get to that, we're going to stabilize everything. Make sure it's at an even temperature. To make sure that everything's on center, we're just going to scratch a bullseye on the bottom. And we can start using the tungsten drill bit. So that torch, I would say it's about 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Another team member has gathered glass on another blowpipe, and he's made what we call a blow punny. A blow punny simply means that it's a fancy straw. We can blow air through the pipe, and it comes out on the end. We're just trying to ensure that we can continue to introduce air into the piece or the vessel. So here goes a little bit of water, and it breaks free. If we try to blow air right now, it's just going to escape at the opening of the vessel. So let's see this opening first, and then let's see how the team will close down that opening to create a closed atmosphere that they can expand again. That's a beautiful heat that Gabe just brought back. All right, so we go to the newspapers, and Gabe is just papering or cooling down the areas he doesn't want to expand. So the areas that are going to expand are the areas that are most bright red and orange. No, look at that little puffer go. We're gonna create another break off section, but this time around, we're not gonna squeeze it all the way down. So when we cut it off, when we break it off, there should be a small hole. Now, sometimes when we heat it up, the glass wants to condense. So it's possible that although we had a hole, that when we heated it up, that hole just healed itself. See, Gabe checks. Now, I would say we're about halfway done, or yeah, about halfway done. We still need to add like a ball, a center mass in the center, and then on top of that will be the cup where you actually put the candle in. And that's sitting inside of the garage right now. We're gonna bring it out and place it on top of this kind of plate that we've made for it. After we put the sphere in the center, then we can put the cup on top of that. And that will complete our candle holder. Now we're just ensuring that everything is at a similar temperature before they're fused together. We have a hot torch. Mixture between oxygen and propane, burns about 4,500 degrees Fahrenheit. We're just going to heat up the two areas we wish the pieces fused together. So we torched a little bit on the sphere. All right, well, here it goes. Here goes the candle holder, the last part. And then Gabe does his magic of centering. That was a great connection. Now that everything's added, now we're just going to clean everything up. And it's just minimal work right now. Pretty much everything's already done. We're just doing the minute things we can. The final thing that we are going to do is prevent our beautiful candle holder from breaking, which means we need to slowly cool it down. So luckily, Kristen suited up in a heat protective layer. She's going to hold the piece. She's literally going to hold it in her hands with these Kevlar gloves. A little bit of water on the end of the punty should be weak enough. Bam, it just breaks off cleanly. We have an oven waiting for it, sitting at 890 degrees Fahrenheit. You can notice the piece we made earlier. Well, this one's a little shorter, but it's a beautiful piece. Brought to you by the Museum of Glass down in Tacoma, Washington.